about.
Pick-me's are women who try to do everything right just so a man can choose me. Yeah, cut that shit out. Cause I'm gonna keep it real with you. Men already know what they want in a woman and who they want. But if you're so nurturing and you're an asset and it's not you, they'll never tell you to stop doing what you're doing because it's beneficial. And I don't want to hear none of that shit like, oh, I'm just a nice person. I'm genuinely like that. Well, bitch, you gonna genuinely get played. No, it's just that I'm just naturally like that. Like the shit I do for him is natural. And your natural ass is gonna get played. If you are making a man's life easier, i.e. cooking, cleaning, providing pussy whenever he wants, and he's giving you the minimum, he's never going to do more. And he's never gonna tell you to stop because it's beneficial to him. No history in niggadom ever has a man been like, oh, stop doing all this stuff. Stop making my life easier. I don't look at you like that. Hell no, they gonna kick their motherfucking feet up and enjoy these perks without doing no work.
Listen up, because Jasmin Brown just lit up the timeline and everybody's talking about it. She dropped some posts that got people throwing side eyes left and right, and the comment section has been on fire ever since. For those who aren't caught up, Jasmin is with Cam Newton. Yes, the Cam Newton. And she's already had his 9th child. On top of that, she's pregnant again right now, carrying his 2nd baby with her, which only turned the spotlight up even brighter.
What does a submissive woman do for her man?
Submissive woman do for her man? Everything. What does that mean? You know, like packing his bag, unpacking his bag, just making sure all the things that he wants. And like, I pretty much read his mind. So it's like, if I know you and I study you, like I know how you are in the morning, I know how you are about midday, I know when you're in this mood, what you need. Like before you can ever ask me for something, I'm already on it. I mean, he's spoiled. Boy, it is my joy. You know, I love to see him eating the meal that I cook. I love seeing him sleep easy. Every night, like clockwork, I scratch this man's back to sleep. And I know when he's asleep because I can tell when his breathing changes. And some people might think that's psychotic, but that's like, I just know that's when I'm like, oh, I can stop now. But I find joy in being your rest.
Do you see yourself marrying her?
To your point?
Yeah.
Marriage
Yes.
is not the ultimate goal for me.
Yes.
I do want to get married.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good.
I do, but listen, so the thing about that word of, well, marry the girl, I'm not saying that to you directly.
Right.
I'm saying that to the people who see this and their response. We're so trauma bond by this thought of get married, have kids.
Yeah.
That's the way that the propaganda of life that everybody has been putting in our faces to say, okay, get married, have kids, whatever. Not or overlooking or not identifying that that's still a way for the devil to dwell in.
You know, I have to say, so marriage for me, when I think about marriage, right, we have to understand that, first of all, a marriage license, which is different from marriage, but I think a lot of people.
But here's where things took a wild turn. Jasmin opened up online and admitted she'd feel nervous if she ended up having a son. The way she worded it sent shockwaves across social media because people instantly started dissecting her reasoning, dragging up old interviews and speculating about what she really meant behind those words. It wasn't just a random post. It came off personal, emotional, and a little bit raw. And you already know fans weren't gonna let that slide without a reaction.
Get straight into the shit, because I'm gonna tell you like this. Ladies, stop letting that man spin the block on you. Stop letting him do it. Why? Why are you taking it back every time? Well, he said this time was gonna be different. He said that he ready for commitment. He said anything he need to say to keep getting that. How are you supposed to find your husband and your soulmate if you keep letting little Dusty, little Raggedy spin the block on you? Spin the block, tear your walls down, go ghost, come back again, spin the block again. He just can't get enough of me, of your dumb ass. That's what he can't get enough of, you just being dumb enough to take it back. I'm not trying to call you stupid because we've all been there. Lord knows, I done been there too. But what, it just...
He not right for you, sis. Come on, man. What we doing, dog? Yeah, but we just have a connection. And you keep letting him in again and again and again. Come on, man. How are we in the month of October? Going into November, then December, then January, and he gonna spin a block again on you. After he get what he want, go ghost, and then come back again, and you keep letting it back again.
She revealed that the idea of having a boy honestly scares her, because deep down, she feels like she'd try to raise him into the kind of perfect man she never actually had in her own life.
I really do not like how the internet tries to make it seem like Watch Jazzy, Jasmin Brown, Cam Newton's mother of his children, y'all be acting like she's the biggest dummy on the internet, and I don't like it. Because when Jada Waiter said she would rather cry in a rape than an Altima, it was tea. When Lil Durk proposed to India, it was couple skulls. When Ari in Moneybag Yo, he cheat on her all the time, it's cool. G Herbo and Hyena, it's cool. I feel like you should just say y'all don't like Cam Newton. Like he's not your type. Like he's not the type that you would let cheat on you. That's what you should say. Because when all the other girls is getting cheated on by they rapper / athlete / they're not the biggest dummy in the world, and every time they post, y'all not at their neck. So why are y'all doing my girl like that? I'm just asking a question. Somebody let me know.
Jasmine laid it all out, admitting that if she was blessed with a son, she'd be so nervous since she knows she'd subconsciously mold him into the man she could only dream of, but never truly experienced. And she even called that realization traumatic.
So I was on IG when I came across a post from the Shade Room, and it was talking about Jasmin Brown, comedian Jasmin Brown, that's Cam Newton's baby mama. Well, of course, we know that she's pregnant again by him. And she was kind of transparent post. The thought of possibly having a boy, which I'm assuming she doesn't know the sex of the baby, gives me anxiety. And, you know, people was like going in on her, like, you knew the type of man you was dealing with, same old shit. But I say that to say, I understood what she was talking about, because when I was pregnant with Sugar Mama, when I found out that she was a girl, my anxiety level just went through the roof. And it went through the roof because my biggest fear was being the same person that birthed me. And I refused to be that person to her. So I understand where she's coming from. Like, I understand what she meant. But at the same time, like, girl, why did you have another baby? Like, that's stupid.
Now, Jazz, you did not need to say any of this. You could have kept this to yourself. Because first of all, you're still going to stay with Cam Newton. And second of all, people Ben warned you about him before you even got pregnant. You didn't want to hear what we had to say. You got pregnant by him anyway. And then people was telling you about him some more. And he said he was still looking for his future wife and all this other stuff. And then you decided to get pregnant by him again. And he kept embarrassing you. And he has a lot of kids already. So you've been warned multiple times, warning you about getting away from this nigga and warning you to not get pregnant by him. But you decide to do that anyway, so I don't feel sorry for you, because you continue to get pregnant by this man. You continue to be with him, so I don't feel sorry for you. And you used to make jokes about situations like this, and now you're in this situation, so I don't feel sorry for you whatsoever. Because like I said, you was warned multiple times by a lot of people. You know, you need to get away from this nigga. He got a lot of kids, and you decided to get pregnant by him over and over and over again. So this is on you. We don't want to hear it. You could have kept this to yourself.
To make things even more intense, she added that people won't stop wishing a son on her, almost like the pressure is nonstop and weighing heavy on her shoulders. She explained how people won't stop telling her that there's no love like the love from a son. But instead of feeling reassured, those words make her spiral with anxiety. Jasmine confessed that hearing that over and over doesn't bring her peace. It actually makes her question what exactly folks mean by that and why it's said like some universal truth that she's supposed to accept. The pressure behind those comments hit her heavy, like she's being pushed to want a boy when all she really cares about is the health of her baby. That's why she quickly shifted the focus back to what truly matters to her: a safe and healthy pregnancy, a smooth labor, and bringing a strong, healthy baby into the world, whether it's a boy or a girl. She stressed that her prayer isn't about gender. It's about survival, safety, and peace for her and her child. But underneath that, Jasmine also revealed the deeper fear that's been eating at her. She admitted that if she does end up having a son, she worries she'll unconsciously try to raise him into the fantasy version of the man she always wished for, but never experienced in real life. That raw honesty hit the internet hard, because some praised her for opening up while others dragged her, saying she exposed too much of her own heartbreak and hidden wounds, but never experienced herself. And let's be real, Cam Newton's track record with women is far from clean, and the receipts are out there for everyone to see. Over the years, his name has been tied to drama after drama, from cheating rumors to messy breakups, and people have been quick to point out that loyalty, consistency, and emotional maturity don't exactly sit at the top of his resume. Knowing that, it's not a stretch to believe Jasmine might not be getting the steady love, respect, and genuine commitment that she really wants and needs from him, especially while carrying his child. So when she opened up about her fears, it hit different. Jasmine admitted she's scared that if she does have a son, she might end up molding him into being everything she's never truly had from a partner. She's afraid she'll subconsciously try to turn her boy into the perfect version of loyalty, emotional support, and respect because she hasn't experienced that in her own reality. That confession is raw and powerful, but it also shines a spotlight on her relationship with Cam in a way that makes fans wonder if she's low-key, revealing cracks that run way deeper than anyone expected. Cam Newton clearly isn't that man for her, and that's what makes this whole situation sting even harder. If you read between the lines, Jasmine is basically confessing that her relationship isn't giving her the satisfaction, love, or emotional safety she craves. And here's where it gets heavy. She's already thinking about how a potential son could end up filling that void in her life. That's not just sad, that's deep, because it shows she feels like she has no other outlet for that kind of love and respect she's been missing. The thought of leaning on her child for the type of connection she never got from her partner hits a nerve with a lot of people, because no child should have to carry that kind of unspoken expectation. What makes it even more jaw-dropping is that Jasmine didn't try to sugarcoat her feelings. She went straight to the core of her truth, posting it for the world to see. And that's why social media went wild. For years, she has presented herself as Cam Newton's ride or die, standing next to him publicly, brushing off the rumors about his wandering eye and messy track record. But now, through her own words, she's exposing cracks that show maybe she's been covering up way more pain than anyone realized. That's not just a confession. That's Jasmine letting the mask slip in real time, and people can't stop dissecting it. Once Jasmine's words started circulating, the dragging online turned vicious, and the internet had no mercy for her. Fans filled the comments with shade, saying she was out here defending a man who clearly doesn't claim her the way she deserves. Some even wrote things like, "Girl, Cam embarrasses you every chance he gets and you still stick beside him," while others mocked her confession, calling it proof that she was raising a fantasy family in her head instead of facing reality. The tone was brutal, and every comment only seemed to make the situation look worse for her. Twitter threads started popping off, with users clowning the fact that she admitted she'd want to mold her son into the kind of man Cam never was for her. One viral post read, "She's not praying for a son, she's praying for her dream man in baby form," and it racked up thousands of likes. Others accused her of oversharing and warned her that putting her business out like that would only give people more ammo to use against her. The general vibe online? That Jasmine was exposing her heartbreak to millions while still standing behind a man who keeps dragging her name through the mud. And to fans, that mix of pain, denial, and loyalty was both sad and shocking. One fan cut straight to the point, and their comment went viral almost instantly. They wrote that what Jasmine was really saying is, she wants to raise her son to be nothing like the man she chose as her partner. The post read like a reality check. Raise him to be a man, not your man. Don't let your misfortune in love turn into a burden for your child to carry. That single statement hit thousands of shares and likes because it summed up the harsh truth in a way that people couldn't ignore. The commenter didn't stop there either. They highlighted the irony of Jasmine being pregnant with Cam Newton's 9th child, her second child with him, while at the same time confessing she'd want to raise a boy into the type of man she's never actually had. To a lot of fans, that sounded like she was calling out Cam without actually saying his name, which made the whole thing even messier. It painted the picture of a woman caught between loyalty to her man and disappointment in him, spilling her pain online in a way that instantly became everybody's business. And for the internet, that contradiction was too big to ignore. People ran with it, dissected it, and turned it into a bigger conversation about love, choices, and the weight of generational cycles. It's wild to admit, but plenty of people pointed out that some mothers end up treating their sons like their stand-in partners. And that's exactly the type of dynamic Jasmine seemed to be hinting at in her posts. The comment sections were flooded with people saying, this is a dangerous cycle, one that blurs lines and puts unfair weight on a child before they're even born. And while those points hit hard, the sympathy for Jasmine was almost non-existent. Instead, fans pulled up her old videos and interviews where she constantly talked about how women are stupid for letting a man play them, and how she would never let herself get caught up in that kind of situation. Now here she is, standing in the same shoes she used to clown other women for wearing, and the internet wasted no time calling her out. That's why the dragging felt so intense. It wasn't just about what she said now. It was about the fact that she became the very woman she swore she'd never be. And you already know how people love to throw out that old saying, don't ever say what you won't do, because the moment you run your mouth, life will make sure you're the first one to end up doing it. For Jasmine, that saying has never felt more true. And the internet isn't letting her forget it. That's Jasmine's reality right now. She has officially become the woman she used to criticize. And the irony isn't lost on anybody. The same energy she once had for calling out other women has now come full circle, and it's sitting right on her doorstep. When you read that post carefully, it feels less like a confident statement and more like a cry for help. Like she's admitting her pain without fully saying the words. It's raw, it's emotional, and it shows that deep down she knows her situation with Cam Newton isn't what she wants it to be. But here's the thing. No matter how many hints she drops, the truth is, she's not going anywhere. At least not right now. Jasmine has already invested years into Cam, built a family with him, and tied her name to his in ways that aren't easy to just walk away from. If she ever does decide to leave, it won't be overnight. It'll take time. It'll take countless breaking points, and it'll take a whole lot more than one emotional post on social media. Until then, she's going to keep riding this roller coaster. And the sad part is, everybody watching knows it. The internet sees her trapped in the same cycle she once warned others about. And the longer she stays, the harder it will be for her to break free. At this point, it feels like the only way this relationship would actually end is if Cam Newton himself decided to walk away, because Jasmine looks way too deep in it to make that move on her own. She's already tied to him forever through their children. One she's raising now and another one currently on the way. And that's the kind of bond that makes letting go even harder. For her, it's not just about love anymore. It's about time, energy, and sacrifices that she's already poured into it. And it seems like she feels she's gone too far to just throw it all away. But when you look at the bigger picture, it's clear she's given way more than Cam ever has. Jasmine's emotions are out in the open. Her loyalty is undeniable, and her struggles are written all over social media, while Cam has made it clear through his actions that faithfulness isn't something he's prioritizing. He hasn't hidden the fact that he's been far from committed, and that imbalance makes it obvious. She's clinging to him way tighter than he's holding on to her. And that's exactly why fans think Cam has all the power here. Because Jasmine is in too deep to walk away without him making that choice first. And let's not forget, this isn't Cam Newton's first rodeo when it comes to messy relationships and kids. He already has multiple children with different women. And the stories surrounding those situations haven't exactly been picture perfect either. Over the years, there have been whispers of tension, public fallouts, and women airing out how difficult it was to co-parent with him. That reputation follows him everywhere. And fans haven't let Jasmine forget that she knowingly stepped into a situation with a man whose history was already full of red flags. What makes it even more complicated is the way people compare Jasmine to the other mothers of Cam's kids. They point out that the same issues seem to repeat themselves: lack of loyalty, lack of stability, and Cam making it clear that he isn't built for long-term commitment. So when Jasmine posts about her fears and anxieties, the internet immediately ties it back to his past, saying she should have seen this storm coming before she ever got involved. That's why fans feel like her emotional turmoil isn't just about this current pregnancy. It's about her realizing she's fallen into the exact same cycle that so many before her went through with Cam. And instead of learning from those situations, she's now living one of her own, with the weight of the world watching and judging every move. So where does this leave Jasmin Brown and Cam Newton? Fans are already predicting how the next chapter of their relationship is going to play out. And let's just say, the outlook isn't pretty. Some believe Jasmine will keep writing for Cam no matter how bad things get, pointing out that she's too emotionally and physically invested to walk away anytime soon. Others are convinced the cycle will repeat itself, just like it did with his other relationships, and that sooner or later, Cam will be the one to pull the plug while Jasmine is left picking up the pieces. But one thing is for sure. Jasmine's own words have cracked the facade wide open. She went from clowning other women for staying with men who mistreated them to being in the very same situation herself. And the internet won't let her escape that contradiction. Every post she makes now is under a microscope, and every slip of honesty only fuels more debate about whether she's strong enough to leave or too deep in to ever walk away. At the end of the day, this isn't just gossip. It's a front row seat to a woman grappling with love, loyalty, and the weight of her choices while the whole world watches. And if this really is Jasmine's cry for help, the sad truth is that unless something changes, she may be stuck in this storm for a very long time. But what do you think? Is Jasmine brave for opening up? Or is she exposing too much while still standing by a man who refuses to change? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.